That's right.
Okay.
It's another podcast. Oh, shish!
Sorry.
We're gonna have podcast outtakes. You f***ing kidding me? Anyway. Okay. That's right. It's another podcast on the sea of endless podcasts. Everybody's doing them. We're no different. Welcome to a new podcast where we're going to talk about literally whatever we want to talk about. Today's episode is about success and what it means to us. So, without further ado, sit back. Unless you're in your car listening to this podcast, don't sit back. That'd be dangerous. And join us for the very first inaugural episode of It's Not
What It Looks Like, a podcast about all the things, all of them.
And this is where the intro plays, that I haven't made yet. Alrighty.
Should I stop recording?
No.
Oh.
We're just
Okay.
gonna blast through it.
Okay, we're just gonna go right into it. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we're just gonna blast through it. We're here! It finally happened. We finally found
it's
time.
happening.
The inaugural episode of the podcast that we've tried to do. This is the second time now.
Yes.
I mean, we've been planning this for how long now? I mean,
Okay, so you had the idea 3 months.
Yeah, I came up
ago.
with a name like at least 3 months ago.
And we're finally doing it. So
Took us long enough. I mean, like I said, we shot the one episode and it didn't upload for some reason. So,
whoopsie.
whoops, man. It's sad because it was super topical. It was with Kyle. It was about the PlayStation 5, and we had filmed it like the day after the PlayStation 5 announcement. Can't really upload that now.
Not really. People know about it, and it's released, isn't it?
The PlayStation 5? No, not yet.
Yeah. Oh no, it's coming soon though.
Yeah. They're just putting out more and more information about it though. There's
Yeah,
already
okay.
there's already a PlayStation 5 menu on the PlayStation Store though, which is hilarious. There's also a Xbox Series X menu on the Xbox Store,
Okay.
which is hilarious to me because those consoles won't even be out for another
Yeah, that's okay.
4 months.
Anyway.
Like I said,
Anyway.
it's success in video games and not at the same time. Come on. So, first major order of business. For those of you who don't know, a few days ago for us, about a week ago for you guys, Miles was in a car accident.
Pretty bad one.
Yeah.
I am very lucky to be alive.
Yeah. And I was talking to him about what he wanted to do, and he's going to be home a lot, so we figured this would be a great time to shoot the podcast, something that he could do while sitting down and resting.
Exactly. I'm taking a couple weeks off of work, so.
Yeah. So, how are you feeling?
Just bruised. Ibuprofen is a friend right now, a very, very close friend.
Yeah.
So I'm just super sore. The past couple of days, the pain has gone down a lot, so that's good. So I'm not needing as much ibuprofen as when I first got out of the hospital. After they checked me out, made sure I was okay. Nothing's broken, so we're thankful for that and everything.
Yeah. That's good. I'm glad. I'm really glad to hear that. Yeah, no, it was actually kind of a shock because our producer got pulled over the night that I got the call from you saying you were in a car accident.
Oh, that's super funny, actually.
So it's just like, I get this call from you, like, oh, I got in a car accident, I make sure you're okay and everything else, and then get another call, like, oh, I got pulled over. I'm like, oh my god. And this, folks,
everything's happening at once.
And this, folks, is why I don't own a car.
This is also why you don't drive, Sean.
I want to drive so bad. I'm trying. Anyway.
You've been trying for the past 4 years, so.
Shut up, you don't mean it.
Anyway, yeah, I'm doing good.
That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
So, the big topic we wanted to talk about today is success. Because in recent years, specifically like around senior year of high school and forward, I've done a lot of retrospective and introspective thinking about just that, about success, about what it means to me, where I want to be, what I want to be doing.
Right.
And I've come to some pretty deep realizations. And I really feel like this is a topic that a lot of people need to hear about.
Yeah.
Because so many people think that success is... So many people think success is, how many cars you own, how many zeros are in your bank account.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I mean, if you're Jeff Bezos, probably.
Oh my word. I don't like relating that to anything, but okay.
Me neither, but it works.
I mean, yeah.
But no, like, none of us are, though.
Yeah.
So what does being successful mean to us? Like, we celebrated the other day, just something small, just like over the phone quick, about hitting 40 subscribers.
Woo!
We're at 41 now.
Ooh, look at that.
I know.
That's awesome.
I know. And that's the thing. So many people equate success to, especially on YouTube. A lot of YouTubers talk about, like burnout and, just getting bored with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of people equate success to massive subscriber counts.
Right.
Like, I think Markiplier is, in the 30 millions by now?
He's somewhere around there.
Yeah. And then Jacksepticeye's at, 25 million. We don't even need to talk about PewDiePie, who's at, 106 million? Second most subscribed YouTube channel on the platform.
Yeah. Sorry, this is totally random, but Tyler just asked me what I wanted from McDonald's. I'm sitting here, he's like, text me what you want from McDonald's. Okay, number 9, extra mayo, extra pickle.
I have a handy-dandy little button on my homepage on my phone that puts my phone in Do Not Disturb mode, and I have gotten very good, except for that one Minecraft video, at hitting that before I record.
Well, here's the thing. I'm on Do Not Disturb. It's just, I still receive text through that, and I don't get it doesn't vibrate or any sound. It's just...
Gotcha.
I get text.
Yeah, I don't even get the notifications, so...
Anyway,
back to...
Yeah, back to the topic we were talking about.
Yeah. It's... a lot of people equate, success in this business of YouTube to massive subscriber counts. To the 30 millions, the 50... I think Dude Perfect just, hit 60 million subscribers. Which is insane to me.
Yeah.
That's 60 million people. That is so much people. So many people? That's the English. But...
Yeah.
But, in the past... What is that sound?
Sorry, I was throwing away some kind of stale popcorn.
We're so good at podcasts, guys.
We're trying, guys. This is the first one, okay? Give us some slack.
Cut us some slack. But no, in the last couple of years where I've done a lot of that retrospective and introspective thinking, I've realized that success, for me, is less about numbers.
Yeah. Which is good.
Yeah, I feel like success should be what makes you feel successful, makes you feel fulfilled.
Right.
A lot of people take what they already see other people being like, oh, I'm so successful, I have this, and they go, well, I need that to be successful. And I feel like that's what leads to a lot of burnout, not just in the business of YouTube, but like in other businesses and everything else. So it's like, I need this to be successful. Because this person is successful and they have this and I don't. You know, that's something that I feel a lot of people do. You know?
Right.
So what does what does success mean to you?
To me?
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of changed over the years. You know, at first I was like, oh, I want to be a music artist. I want to, you know, get out there and spread my music to the world and stuff like that. And then when I kind of came into realization that that's not what I really wanted. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still want to share my music, but
yeah, of course.
But you know, it's not as big of a concern anymore. It's more of what do I want to be doing as a stable career for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm. So you started editing for a YouTube channel with 40 subscribers.
Yeah, of course. Yep. But no, that's kind of what led me to go and study cosmetology in school, and that's kind of where I am at in my life, because I feel like as soon as I'm done learning about that, I can start to be successful in the business of cosmetology and hairstyling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And right now, success to me is one day owning my own hair salon, and being a good stylist for a lot of people. And that's kind of where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. And like, that's a really, really healthy idea of success.
Yeah.
So many people see success as unattainable.
They really do, and I feel like when we start to put ourselves in that mindset, we don't actually realize that, you know, success is closer than we think.
Yeah, it really is. Just to share a story here, my grandmother, whom I know I've talked about before, it's actually this past Monday was her birthday. She passed away in 2015. When I was little, she would make sure Grandpa was buying us laptops. Bobby needed a green screen for some school project, so she made sure that Grandpa bought him green sheets and something to hold it up with, and you know, just all of these different things. She was always making sure that we had what we needed. And I asked her, like, why do you do this?
Mm.
And this is what, like, thinking about this at the time that I wrote a play in high school, for those of you who don't know. Thinking about that at that time is really what kicked off my thinking about what success means for me. Because the response I got was incredible. She said that she was in a wheelchair for 30 years.
Mm.
Which is 2/3 of my life. You know?
Yeah.
So, like, not even. That's more than my life. Where's my math? My math is gone. Anyway.
Yeah, you never had math in the first place. I'm a little more advanced in that than you, and then our producer, he's a genius, a human calculator.
Yeah, I'm just going to text Carson, you know.
Yeah,
anyway.
Hey, how long is 30 years in my life?
Yeah, that's like a life and a half for me, though. You know?
Yeah, about.
Yeah.
No, actually, exactly, that's what that would be.
Yeah. So, a life and a half for me, she spent struggling with MS and in a wheelchair and everything else, and it was just such a... I don't want to call it a burden, because she really got around it, and she was such an influential person, but I remember asking her, like, why do you do all this stuff? You know, aside from us being your grandkids, because, you know, it's just how that works. I asked her, like,
Right.
why do you spend so much time making sure that Grandpa's always helping me and Bobby? Like, Grandpa taught me and Bobby to drive in the same car, like 4 years apart. You know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And she pretty much said that being in a wheelchair keeps her from doing a lot of things. But if she can help us get whatever we need to be successful,
Right.
then she is successful.
That's great. I love that. That's,
Yeah.
you know, that's what success should be, is being able to be there for people who want to be successful as well, you know? And that's a great viewpoint in my viewpoints of what success is.
No, I completely agree with you. Like, and it really opened my eyes to think, like, success is less quantifiable and more qualifiable for most people. But they don't see it. You know, success for me has just become, you know, I'm not setting these grandiose goals, because the moment you aren't reaching those is the moment you feel like you're not measuring up to where you wanted to be.
Right. Exactly. And, you know, I feel like I've found a little more success in my life currently, because I currently hold 2 jobs at the moment. And those jobs, you know, being simple ones, you know, Starbucks and DSW, great jobs, really, really good jobs. But having both those jobs, I'm bringing in more of an income, and that, not that money is success, but it definitely helps, you know?
Yeah. And, like, that's also a really interesting thing to bring up, because I'm not working right now.
Right.
Because I have major anxiety issues and everything else, and I'm seeing therapists, not actively, but, you know, I gotta get back into that.
And, you know, COVID.
Yeah, that's what I'm anxious about. So I'm not working right now.
Right.
So for me, right now, success has become just like trying to make YouTube work.
Right.
And like we've done very, very well about getting out a video a week for months now.
Yeah.
Like, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the biggest span we've ever had of consistent uploads, knock on wood. But, thank you.
Yep.
But, like, success for me, success for everybody, it shouldn't be one thing.
Right,
you know?
It should be multiple things that lead up to your success.
Exactly. Like, if you're happy with what you're doing, then you're successful.
Right, exactly.
And there are so many people who just need to hear that, who don't hear that enough.
You know, for a while there, one of my, like, this is kind of in between my high school expectations and my first year of college and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
For a while there, my idea of success was who I was with, you know? Like, in a relationship, not in a relationship. Oh, I'm not successful if I'm not in a relationship. Or, you know, I need to be in a relationship to feel the idea of success.
Yeah, there's a lot of expectation that comes with relationships and with love.
Right.
You should know, I mean, we went to high school together, you should know that I felt a lot of those. For those of you who don't know, a long-standing relationship that I had throughout high school. For almost more than half of my high school career, I was in this relationship. And I'm not going to say that I regret it, but during that time it was, I'm successful because I'm with her.
Right.
And that can be fine if you've found the right person, but if you haven't found the right person, that could be an extremely unhealthy mindset to have.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like that was kind of my issue was like I know this is unhealthy. I know this is not something that is what qualifies as success, but the idea that I'd been in that for so long
Yeah.
kind of led me to believe that it was, a form of success. And not to say that it's not, like being in a relationship, being with someone that you truly deeply love
Yeah.
is a great way to feel successful.
Hmm.
Like it's a great way to feel like you've made a life for yourself.
Yeah. And it really just comes down to the question, like you really have to be careful, because if you're putting so much into a relationship and you're not getting anything out, then you might feel successful because you're in that relationship and you're in love and everything else. You have somebody, but that's not success.
Exactly. And I'm fortunate enough that I have found finally that form of success.
Yeah.
My boyfriend, he is one of the greatest people. He really truly cares, and like, so the car accident that I was in, not to bring it up again, but it was his vehicle I was driving, and here I am sitting there terrified that he's gonna be super mad at me, and like, he's gonna be like screaming when he arrives at the scene, and like, being mad and yelling, and here I am sitting super terrified, and the first thing he did when he got there was ran up to me and gave me a hug.
Yeah. See,
And
that is success when it comes to relationships, right there.
exactly, the fact that he cared more about me than a earthly possession, like a thing that can be replaced versus
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah.
It felt great, and most of my family, when they found that out, they felt the same way.
Hmm.
So
Not to make light of a tense situation.
very serious, yeah.
But when you said the first thing that he did, my brain immediately said he ran up to me and yelled, "Yay, new car!"
What's funny? We did the next day. We went out. First we made sure he would get a good loan from his
Yeah.
bank, and we went out shopping for a car. And we went back to Kia because he used to drive a Kia Optima. We went back to Kia and we got the same salesman he got when he bought the Kia Optima. He hooked us.
Let's not say the new model just because, but yeah.
No, yeah, no, but he
Yeah.
hooked us up with a great deal on a good Kia, a safer vehicle as well. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
and
it
that's
was
really good.
great.
That's really awesome. But yeah, like back to success though. Success in relationships is just as important as feeling successful in your life. Like we were just saying, you've found that.
Right.
You have found success in a relationship, because relationships that I've been through, personally, not all of them have ended great, to be perfectly honest.
Right.
And I feel like you can really tell after a relationship if you were getting out what you were putting in. Because if you're absolutely destroyed after a relationship, then you were not getting out what you were putting in.
Exactly.
And that goes for everything you do, though.
Mm-hmm.
If you finish a project, like if we're planning, sneak peek, planning on maybe next week putting out the best of 2019 video 8 months late.
Woo! Yeah. It's like little too much, little too late, and then
We got there.
what are we even gonna do for the best of 2020? Like, I don't know.
It's just a picture of a mask for like 20 minutes. That's it.
It's a picture of a mask for like the first 15, and then the last 20 minutes are gonna be like some of the videos that we've recently shot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
But no, so like, if we get to the end of editing that and we are ruined, emotionally distraught and just ruined, we did not
Right.
get out what we wanted to put in. you know? And that is something where, that's where a lot of, like, the burnout comes in, where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm putting so much into this, and I'm not feeling that rewarding nature. A lot of people will give up if they aren't getting that immediately.
Right, and it's, it's kind of sad to see that. Like, a lot of people will go their entire lives and not find little bits of success, but they'll never fully feel successful because they're wearing themselves out, and they're getting so exhausted that the small things of success that they do witness, they're not recognizing them.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the truth. It's a sad truth, but that's the truth. Like, in these last few months, I know I've come back to these last few months quite a few times now, saying, like, I've done a lot of introspection, retrospection, everything that I've said so far. In these last few months, where I've kind of come to the conclusion that it's qualifiable,
right?
I've come to the conclusion that if you're chasing that same dream of success your entire life, you're not going to do anything else. You're not going to even see any other possibilities or expectations of anything.
And they also say you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And if you come across an opportunity and you say no to that, what are the chances that could have been something really good for you, or that could have led you down a path that led to more opportunities and more forms of success for you personally?
Precisely.
And I'm a firm believer of always trying to take a chance on something I see come along that's really good. For instance, when I went to my interview for DSW, I was like, oh, I'm just expecting to get an associate position. Just a person who helps sell on the floor and all that stuff, like the basic job.
Yeah.
When I got there, I was interviewed for like maybe 15 minutes, and then the next 5 minutes, she said, well, I see you have manager experience. We have an open part-time supervisor position available. Would you be interested? And I immediately said yes. I already knew that was going to be a higher pay rate than what I would have gotten as an associate. And I already knew that I needed more of money to be able to do all the things I want to do with my life currently.
Mm-hmm.
And I never saw that opportunity coming, but as soon as it was in front of me, I had that thought, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's one of the shots I had to take.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Similar story back in, this is the humble brag hour. Similar story. Oh. Hello? I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, you went silent for, okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi. I have no idea what just happened. Watching at home, the recording went bloop, 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 and then like, and then just disappeared for a couple seconds. I was like, bloop, oh, okay.
Technical difficulties right there. Just put that in.
Yeah, for real.
Like, show my face, but everything else, technical difficulties.
Yeah. Anyway, but no, apparently this is Humble Brag Hour. Similar story, back in 8th grade, my choir teacher came up to me and was like, I'm handpicking a few students to do state choir. Or to audition for state choir. So you have to, do solo and ensemble. You have to pick a higher level song than the rest of your classmates. And then they will send that tape, they'll send your score and everything else up to the state choir to be judged and to see if you get in. And I think that first year, it was me and I think 3 other kids from Oregon got handpicked. I was the only one who got in.
Wow, that's a form of success,
Yeah, exactly.
You were one of the only ones to be picked, and well, actually, the only one to be picked by an entire panel of people who, judge these things.
Mm-hmm. And it was so nerve-wracking. I almost didn't do it.
Right.
It was stressful. It was nerve-wracking to be the only kid from Oregon. I did it again the next year as well. It was me and one other kid that next year from Oregon.
Nice.
And it was such a crazy feeling, because at the beginning of that year we had everybody in the auditorium at the high school that we were rehearsing in for the first day. It was 2 days. We did an overnight at a hotel, and then we actually did the performance at that hotel the next morning.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, with a few rehearsal. It was just after lunch actually that we would do the performance. So it was like 5 meals, an overnight at a hotel, and then the performance that next day. It was just 2 days of nonstop rehearsing.
Right.
And it was amazing. It was a great experience. But right at the beginning, that first morning, they had all of the choir kids in the auditorium. They're like, "If this is your first year here, stand up." Almost the entire auditorium stood up.
That's amazing.
And then if they're like, "Okay, now sit down. If it's your second year here, everybody stand up." And again, this is humble brag hour. This is a warning. I'm not trying to brag here, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they're like, "If this is your second year here, stand up." And me and I think 4 other kids stood. And then they said, "Now sit down. If this is your third year here," and it's a 3-year program.
Right.
There's only 3 years of your school career that you can be in this choir, this specific choir. Like, if this is your 3rd year here, stand up. One kid in the middle of the orchestra, because it was state orchestra, choir, and band.
Right.
One kid in the middle of the orchestra stood up. Like, it's just such that's where I got that feeling of success.
Right.
And that was where, again, it started to kind of click for me that success is not owning a bunch of cars or owning a big house or having a ton of money. Success is what makes me feel successful.
Right.
So
and that's how it should be for a lot of people. But there's just that, the world today kind of instills in young people's and older people's minds that success is having a lot of money, having a big house, having cars, all that. And you can certainly be successful that way.
Yeah.
But you don't have to have success that way.
No, not
Think
at all.
of smaller things that bring you success. Like, I'm not going to lie, a couple times my boyfriend will bring me flowers when he comes home. And I feel like that's a form of success. It's like, hey, I'm doing good in this relationship. He loves me to bring me flowers every once in a while. And it's so validating to see that and to do things with the person or with other people or, with your job. It's so validating to have that kind of form of success. And a lot of people should, in my opinion, really should look for those small things, because you will find life a lot easier looking for those smaller things in life.
Well, it's just like what I said with my grandmother and how she deemed herself being successful as helping us be successful.
Right.
And that always stuck with me. But the big thing that I always take away from that, whenever I think about it, is, for me, the biggest success is being helpful. And not many people really take the time to realize just how many ways you can be helpful.
Right.
In my opinion, the videos we make on the YouTube channel can be helpful for people who are having a really bad day, and they just want something to sit back and laugh at. So they want to watch me make an ass of myself.
An absolute fool of yourself. And very soon I will be
learning English.
Part of that as well.
Oh, that too, yeah.
I will be making an absolute fool of myself. Like, one of the things, and I've realized this in being a editor on your channel now, that one of the things, you know, and having the tools to be able to do it as well. One of the things I want to do now is I want to start a YouTube channel documenting my life with Tyler, and you know, it makes me happy to think about that.
Exactly. Like, doing this is not just something that makes me happy, makes us happy that we're doing it. This is stuff, entertaining is helping people. Especially in times like right now, where we're going through this craziness in the political spectrum, this craziness in world health, this craziness in, you know, public relations. Like, everything is just absolutely crazy right now. And the reason I started making the videos again is because right at the start of all this, I realized just how much YouTube I was watching. I was watching Markiplier, Funhouse, Adam Savage's Tested. I was watching Matthias, GG, all of the High Five Studios channels I was watching, Dope or Nope. Like, I was just watching so much YouTube, and I'm like, YouTube videos and entertainment helps people.
And that's so true.
And by helping people, by helping people, I feel successful. If I see somebody in pain, I'm going to help them, and if I can help them, I will feel successful. And that's not to say that if you can't help them, you shouldn't feel successful. If you take the initiative and you go there and you give it your best to help them, and in the end, you can't help them out, you should still feel successful because you tried more than other people did.
Yeah, exactly. So I know it's not necessarily the time to bring this up, but I want to talk about setbacks.
Sure.
For instance, one of the very first, or well, not the very first setback, but one of the setbacks recently that I had was the car accident. And I'll tell you why. When I finally got home, you know, and, you know, I was out of the hospital after they checked me out. I was there for maybe 2 hours, so it wasn't very long that I was there. But when I finally got home, one of the things I totally feared after that day was getting behind the steering wheel again.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of teenagers feel success when they get their driver's license. You know, they're super excited. They finally can drive on their own without a parent in the car.
I mean, I know you felt successful when you got your license. The day after you got your license, you and I went and got lunch.
Yes, this is true. Yeah, we did. But, you know, just that for a lot of kids and a lot of teenagers in that time is success. So the feeling that I no longer felt comfortable to drive, like I wept. I literally cried when I realized I had to get behind the steering wheel, because me and Tyler were watching his parents' house, and so coming back to the apartment, I just felt so scared, you know?
Yeah.
So that's a setback that I did have.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but other things that could be like a setback, you know, just, you know, schooling itself, like...
Feeling like something similar, again, back in high school, my grades were not the best. I had a super low GPA coming into senior year, and the first semester of senior year, it just tanked.
Right.
And then I had that wake-up call, which I won't say what it was. You know what it was, but for reasons I'm not going to say what caused it. But I had this wake-up call, and I brought my GPA up almost 0.3 points in one semester.
Yeah.
And that was like my most... It was still low. It was still super low. But, like, I brought it from ridiculously low to, could be better.
Right.
And that's...
Which is amazing. That's a form of success, also.
Exactly. Doing that in one semester when every teacher I knew gave me the speech of, you can't change your GPA in a year. I didn't just do it in a year, I did it in a semester. And that is one of my most proud achievements. You know? Like, that was success for me senior year. When I got an award during the senior breakfast from the play that I made, and going up and accepting that reward, that was my form of success. This entire podcast is just going to be humble brags because we're talking about success.
Right.
But
I feel bad, like, and that's kind of why I wanted to get on the topic of setbacks, because, not everyone's perfect.
Yeah, no,
we're not going to all reach success immediately, and it's not all about your entire life finding success.
Exactly.
You're going to have setbacks. You're going to be in that perpetual feeling that, I'm going to mess up.
Mm-hmm. And that's just something you have to keep in mind. I'm going to mess up. I mean, like I said, coming into senior year, my GPA, I think it was like a 1.7. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's not the actual number, but it was low. It was low, and I brought it up. And,
yeah,
like I said, none of us are perfect. My feeling of success came from my imperfections, changing my imperfections slightly. But the fact that I was able to change them at all, that's something I should be proud of, and that's something I should feel successful about. If you can literally do something that you've been told impossible, no matter what degree it is, to, you should feel successful. And that's something that I feel like a lot of people don't take the time to think about.
Mm.
Like we said at the beginning, people see success and they go, oh, it's a lot of money, it's a big house, it's 15 cars, it's all of the other words to Nickelback's Rockstar. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But that's not what it is. It is what makes us feel happy, what makes us feel fulfilled, and what makes us feel successful.
Right.
And I think that's what everybody needs to take away from whatever they're doing, whatever they're doing right now. If you feel fulfilled, if you feel successful in what you are doing, you are succeeding.
Yeah.
A lot of people think of success as a win state. It's not. You don't succeed, you are succeeding.
Exactly.
And a lot of people need to think of it that way. Because if they don't reach that goal, they realize, oh, I've failed. But no, you're succeeding, and just because you didn't reach that big goal that you'd set, you still succeeded up to a point. You still did more than most people do to reach that goal, to reach that dream, and that's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people need to remember that.
Yeah.
So, winding down here, are there any parting thoughts you want to give?
Just what we've been saying the entire time. Success is not the big things in life, it's the little things that stand out from, everyday life. For instance, getting a better paying job than you thought you were going to get, getting high grades on a test that you thought were little, it changes for different ages, but, there are still little things that count as successful, and you should really focus on those, because the more you focus on those, the happier life you'll tend to lead, and, the happier I think most people will feel.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. The better you can live your life,
yeah,
is what's better for you. Don't try to measure up to other people or their expectations. If you're happy, if you feel fulfilled, or if you're reaching fulfillment,
then you're successful.
Then you're successful because you're succeeding.
Exactly. And that's a good way of saying it. Success is succeeding, just in general.
Exactly.
So.
Don't exceed. Nah, I was gonna try to be deep here, but then it sounded stupid. So. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching this. If you made it to the end, I know that these videos are longer. There's no snappy editing or anything.
Right.
But this is something that we hope to do monthly.
Yes, monthly I think would be good. But...
And it's probably going to be part of the main uploads, at least for a couple of months. We might start to do this like bi-weekly, and it might come out on Saturdays, whereas the main uploads still come out on Wednesdays.
Exactly.
For now, though, this is going to be a monthly series that you guys get. So
yeah, and each topic's going to be different, so you guys should definitely come back because we might have some funnier topics to talk about as well. So
yeah, I wanted to start it off kind of deep to kind of give the range of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you guys so much, so much for watching or listening or however you saw this. And please leave a comment down below, maybe some other topics you want us to talk about.
Tell us about what success is for you.
Exactly. What success means to you, how you qualify it as opposed to quantify it. If you qualify. I mean, quantifying it is okay, as long as you're not trying to live up to these, you know, Mark Zuckerberg level expectations of wealth.
Yeah.
You know. So, yes, leave that down in the comments below. We will try to read them all, get to all of them. And, yeah, we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.